by the pandemic. The city generates big money, contributing 7% each year to the national economy. But the streets and skyscrapers have been virtually empty for months, sparking fears a revival may be painfully slow, even when restrictions are lifted. Mark Reddy reports.
Once the beating heart of Sydney's financial sector, now without a pulse.
I don't think we'll go back to what it was before. It will be different.
Bare on the outside and dead on the inside, a sign the economy is in trouble. The coronavirus pandemic has gutted city offices and workers have been home for more than a month.
Managers have learned to manage remotely, employees have learned how to work remotely, and it's happened at scale. So whether we go back to the size of workforce in CBD is an open question.
And that's particularly concerning for cafes that thrive off the big dollars spent by those who used to sit at desks in the towers above.
In terms of the business revenue perspective, it has been dropped like about 85%, and which this is quite a lot. Like I used to have a queue from the counter all the way down here.
And Charles Wang has gone from making 1,200 coffees a day to 200, and that's on a good day.
It's terribly challenging for small businesses and, favourite cafes like his, and the impact that this has had on his business.
The City of Sydney accounts for 20% of the state's GDP and 7% of the nation's economy. More than 500,000 people normally work in the CBD, but most are working from home. And new research forecasts a loss of up to $75 million over 6 months because of COVID-19. This food court was once heaving with office workers during the busy lunch hour. But even with the easing of restrictions, those days are unlikely to return. Many businesses are now looking at keeping at least some of their employees at home on a permanent basis. Others are likely to return, but at a snail's pace.
This is definitely not like the start line at the City to Surf, right? We cannot have everybody ready to return.
So there might be staggered starts and staggered finishes or staggered lunch breaks, or some people coming into the worksite on different days.
Either way, it's a health crisis that comes with irreversible damage.
I will stay here as long as I can, but just don't know how long that would be.
For now though, the lights are on, but it's a dim outlook for the future.
Mark Reddy there. Well, it's taken a global pandemic to get Australians to open their wallets as stockpiling turbocharged sales. March saw a surge with retail sales up 8.5% for the month compared to a 0.6% rise in February. Groceries and food were up by 24% as people bought up big on pasta and toilet paper. Household items also saw a 9% rise because of DIY spending. But cafes, restaurants, clothing and footwear took a big hit, down 23%. To the markets, and the ASX revealed today that April saw a near 300% increase in capital raisings. On the boards today, the ASX finished 0.2% lower after big falls in the banks, with NAB slipping more than 2%. The Aussie dollar is currently buying around 64.5 US. And that's all from the business. I'm Elise Morgan. Good night.